I'd like to go ahead and call the East China Township Board meeting for August 7th, 2023 to order, please. Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Westrick.
Here.
Clerk Smith here. Treasurer Hart.
Here.
Trustee Babel. Here. Trustee Blackstock.
Here.
Trustee Richley.
Here.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everyone, there's the agenda before you tonight, which you've seen already, and I don't have anything to change on it. If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Richley,
Support.
support by Mr. Blackstock. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes, same thing. If there's no objection, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Richley. Mr. Blackstock, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Presentations, guest speakers, I don't think we have any presentations or guest speakers tonight. Public comment, and correct me if I'm wrong, the public hearing is for the SAD. Any other comments tonight other than the SAD for right now? Okay?
Correct. I suppose they could speak at both, but there will be another time. Yes.
Right, yeah, we'll open it, when we get to the public hearing part, we'll have a portion for people that are here about the River Road Water Main project to speak on that at that time, okay? So we don't duplicate, just save time for everybody. If there's anyone want to speak other than the public hearing, please stand, if not. Okay. Consent agenda. C1, we have departmental reports, Park Commission June meeting minutes, the Historical Commission July meeting minutes, Marine City Fire Authority July run, St. Clair Fire Authority July run, and request for training for the DPW, request for training in the wastewater for 7 total items on the consent agenda. I'd entertain motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Blackstock?
Support.
Support by Ms. Babel. Is there any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Disbursements, Ms. Hart.
We have disbursements, payroll in the amount of $40,518.09. Accounts payable, $521,682.92. EFTs in the amount of $60,667.82. E-check in the amount of $302.30. Tax disbursements in the amount of $320,322.51, and invoices paid in the amount of $601,089.88, with a grand total of $1,544,583.52. I'll make a motion to pay all the bills and invoices in that amount.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote. Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart.
Yes.
Trustee Babel. Yes. Trustee Blackstock.
Yes.
Trustee Richley.
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick.
Yes. Thank you. Old business, number 1, the public hearing for the River Road Special Assessment District. We'd like to go ahead and have a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Mr. Richley,
Support.
Ms. Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are open for public hearing on the Special Assessment District. Anyone wish to speak, please step to the podium and give us our name and address, please.
Public speaking is not my forte, so you gotta bear with me a little bit. My name's
Wait.
John Team,
Okay.
I'm 4049 River Road. My wife Kathy. I just have a few things. I understand it was voted that, or they agreed that it would happen, and I have no problems with that, but I'd like to whittle the cost down some if we could by eliminating that fire hydrant out along M29 from our cost. Because it really doesn't benefit us all the way out there. I mean, we're using them ones out there now, so another one's not gonna gain us. The second one back in on our loop, there's one after you come around the curve, and then there's one at the end by Mrs. Hardy's. I'd like to see if they can't get rid of the one, the first one as you come in the drive, and keep the one by Mrs. Vardy's, because you want to be able to drain the line at the end also. But is there really a need for a second one there when we're less than 500 feet from all the hydrants as it is stands right now? And, I mean, we're within distance of the hydrants. So why do we need another one back in there? Why not just the one at the end for draining? And my last thing that I'd like to bring up is, I don't know if the gas company was considered in on this or not. They're a major property owner right in there. So that water line's not only used for drinking water, but it's also used for firefighting, which they would benefit from much more than we would probably. But I feel that the property owners should have all been included, not just the ones with the houses. The gas company included. So I don't know if they were or not. It didn't appear like it by the addresses on the sheet. But I don't know.
Now, for your information, I did make a phone call, and this is the response that I got.
What was it?
Nothing.
That's all I have. I understand.
Yeah, I tried to chase that down after our last meeting. We talked about that, you know, 'cause for fire protection, but they're under no obligation, under the way the rules work, to do
I
that, but.
mean, if they would have got a thing, maybe one of the representatives would come to the meeting tonight and found out about it. You know, I don't know, I just feel that everybody should include it in, not just the ones with the houses back.
Do they have a tap on that gas line property?
No.
I don't believe
I
so.
wouldn't think so.
No.
There's no tap there. There's no tap for them to access the water.
No, but the firefighting, they would use it. I mean, it's there for not only water to drink with, it's there for firefighting also.
Is that true?
Pardon me?
Is that true? That it's for firefighting as well as just for drinking water?
The main purpose of the hydrant at the end of the line is to keep the water of quality, to flush it.
And I understand.
That's the main issue there. But yeah, it's still for firefighting too. That's what a hydrant's for. But the main issue is for water quality. A lot of those runs, at an end of a run like that, have to be flushed on a regular basis. We do it all the time within the township.
So I understand you need the
Yeah.
one at the end, but do you really need the second one in?
Yeah. That's not a final design engineering too. Those questions are going to be posed to the engineer. It's going to come back. It'll be eventually bid out. You'll know what those prices are too when it's bid out and the actual true cost of it. So,
That's all I have.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rosemary Kowalski, 4037 River Road. I just was going on what Mr. Team was saying about the firefighting. There one time was a brush fire back there in the cattails, and it is a wetland. But, you know, we had called the fire department, and they came back there, and the first thing that they were anxious about, because the gas company was there. And he was afraid that if it got further, what would have happened if I didn't call early as I did. That, you know, that's a concern too. And also, it shows that, you said the pipe was 8 inches. And how much of an easement are you taking on the other side of the road? It showed like 12 feet.
What was the question?
The question is, you said the pipe is 8 inches long, and on the other side of our road, where you're gonna put the easement in, it showed in that picture that it was 12 feet, the easement.
Yeah, the easement possibly is 12 feet, but the diameter of the pipe is 8 inches,
Right.
not the length.
Okay.
Diameter of the pipe is 8
Well,
inches.
Other people don't care, but I have a garden, I have trees back there, and so you're gonna be taking all of that area down then, before the work starts?
Wherever the easement will go, will more than likely need to have any landscaping removed from it. They can put that easement in a lot of different places, so they'll take that all into consideration when they come out and take a look at it and try to find a placement for that where it goes.
Okay.
So,
Right.
So you're agreeing there is a 12-foot easement?
I'm not sure, it's whatever's shown on the plan there, I didn't say.
Like you had last time?
There's some type of easement, I don't know the dimensions of it, but there'll need to be an easement for a public utility in there. So we can maintain it, yeah, there's some type of easement.
Do you know the easement from the middle of the road, how far it goes up?
I don't, there's a drawing behind you there, I think we have it, I think, too.
Yeah, it's in here. It says 12 foot.
Yeah, it says 12 foot. Yeah, there'll be a 12-foot wide easement somewhere there to maintain that.
I mean, that's quite a big, that's taken all, that's taken all of it.
Yeah, well, the machine that will be digging will be that wide.
Right, to get equipment in there.
That's a pretty narrow easement, actually.
Working on the,
Yeah, that's about as narrow as you're gonna wanna get for that.
All right, and then it shows on the middle house, so it says water meter and shut off. Is that gonna be something that's out of the ground or?
You'll
up, or-
all have one of them. That's typical.
All right.
You'll all have a water meter, but the meter will be at the houses like they are. It's
Oh,
not shown
all right.
correctly there. There's a shut off going there, though.
it's not a pit meter.
No, the meters are all at the houses with digital. They're readers. They don't have to come in to read them or anything. They read them from the road.
Hey, can I say something? Do I have to come up here? Can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, seeing though I cut this grass where this line's going right down the side from the road in, that's my property, well, I'm butted up against it. But when they put the new gas lines in, they did a really crappy job.
Oh, yeah.
They used clay to backfill it with, or something. Anyway, the grass won't even grow in it hardly. Can you, is it gonna do a good job on?
This right away will be seeded with topsoil and mulch, yes. There's line items in there for that. They have to do it right.
When they did it, they just. chucked
I
it in there with
feel
the
your
backhoe
pain
and
with that.
stacked it down, and that was it.
Yeah, I feel your pain with those guys.
Do you want me to try to call the Canadian people, or are you gonna call again, or? Because they have property, big, acres on both sides of that driveway.
Yeah,
So I don't see why they aren't included.
we're gonna try to contact them again, but
Okay, I'd appreciate
their
it.
obligation is,
Why?
and they're a big
they're
company.
property owners.
and they're a big company. According to the way the SAD
They
works.
should have more money than us, since
Yes.
they're a big company.
And the attorney can address that a little bit too. They're not being served by that line.
Don't they have water on the main road?
Yeah, they come off the main road if they do,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the reason they don't need to pay because they have water available to them.
Right. Their property goes up to the river road and their water comes off of that.
Well, we're right next door, so we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that. So you're saying they would get water from the river, they don't care about the fire hydrant?
From the river road. That's where they get their water from, the main out there, because they have frontage
I
there.
still don't see why they aren't included in this,
We legally can't, because they aren't served by that water line that's gonna be put in.
they are what? Could you repeat that?
They're not going to be served by that water main that is being installed.
You can promise me that?
I-
During a fire?
They won't be able to tap that line, no.
Well, during a fire, you're gonna use the fire hydrant,
I highly doubt that. They'd have to go across private property to get to it.
Isn't the main,
so. But the
whole
river
length of
is a
129.
long way from
Yeah.
the
the whole
road.
system, it isn't just sections.
Yeah.
Right.
They're-
This is one section of a
Yeah.
whole system, not just,
Yeah, this system's only gonna serve you, and it ends at 4021, the right-of-way ends there, so they would have to cross private property to get to that hydrant, and they can't do that. So. I mean, I'll still keep in touch with them, try to get something out of them, but,
I
you know,
appreciate it.
they're a worldwide company, so
Right.
very difficult to deal with. Anybody else have any comments, questions?
And when would they be, at the first meeting, you said something that they wanted to, or you wanted to do it as soon as possible. Are you talking this year, next year, or?
We are going to be, whenever I don't know how much longer we got on this paperwork. Maybe, Alan, you can help me with that, but we'll have to bid it out, get an engineer to bid it out, and then try to get it done. It's something that can be done through the winter and then restored in the spring when the weather permits. So I'd like to see it done this year.
Really?
And how, oh, sorry.
say, so after the hearing today, my name's Al Francis, for anybody who's remembering the township attorney. So under the law, they have to have this public hearing today. I know there was an informal hearing a few months ago where some of these issues were discussed. After the petitions came in, the law requires the hearing today. After this hearing, the board will make some decisions, and I'm going to read, so I apologize for that, but I want to make sure I cover them all. Decisions to determine if the improvements will be completed, if that's the decision, approving the plans, including the estimate, confirming the sufficiency of the petitions that were submitted, so that would have to be confirming that sufficient petitions that constitute over 50% of the land area were submitted, and then determine and establish a special assessment district. There are periods after that that the township assessor has to do with respect to the assessment rules. But the board should direct the township assessor to make the assessment rules. That will follow with the hearing. But there are some, I guess, I don't want to say 30,000 foot, because that was probably 3 months ago, but maybe 10,000 foot things that this board will have to do, and it might be at the next meeting that resolution is adopted after these discussions happen. But at that point in time, it's sort of the board and the supervisor will have direction to proceed. We can look at things like amending the plan, trying to get some money from anybody else that might want to play. Those things don't stop because the board's moving forward. But that allows everyone to sort of firm up the costs, firm up the plans. If there's hydrants that are going to be removed, talk about doing that. But I can have that resolution ready for this board at the next meeting without a problem. Then you guys just go forward. I don't know what realistically the time that the engineers are going to take, but I don't foresee this as being a terribly long project.
Right.
How long do you estimate this will take? Do you know that? How long? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
The actual construction,
Well, from start to finish. So we're going to be interrupted our driveway?
2 to 4 weeks probably, just depending on whether and when they start it. We have a lot of hoops to jump through, as Ellen has said, all the paperwork's got to happen first. Then we have to do the final engineering, and however long it takes the engineer to do this work. They have to go get, easement descriptions all done and recorded. All that stuff has to happen first, and then we would bid the project out. And that takes some time. And then once that's done, we make an award and decide to go, we get the numbers, we get everything in, and then we move forward at that point. So we're a few months off at the earliest.
And it can be done during the winter?
I'm sorry?
It can be done during the winter?
Yes, oh yeah, this work can be done, it's best to do it in the winter anyway, just so you don't inconvenience everybody else in the summertime. But, and then as soon as spring settles out, we do make sure they do the restoration and try to inconvenience you as least as possible. But that was our plan, to try and do it through the winter.
I know it differs probably, but what, normally when you guys do this kind of thing, how far out are you getting hit up on your taxes? How long does it take to pay it off? 10 years, 20 years?
Yeah.
That's still to be to decided.
That's one of the issues that will have to be.
That's one of
Yeah.
the things that we'll gather input from you on,
Farther out, the better.
Farther the better. for us.
And we're considering picking up some of the costs too on no interest or other things. That'll be discussed at the next meeting, probably if we can get the resolution ready. But those are things that we want to look into. We're going to help you as best we can too. So, it'll offset some stuff.
But I just want to keep it, there's one driveway for 6 houses, so with all this construction near the road, we have to be able to get in and out, unless you want us to park across the street in the doctor's office or something like that.
Well, we're going to try to maintain the edge of the road easement and keep your road there for you to get in and out. There may be some days where we ask you, hey, can you help us out? That's the contractors, we're going to try to make it as least painful for everybody as possible. And it might be, well, if you guys can maybe find 1 day or 2 days I can't let you in real close, or it's 10 grand more, what do you want to do? What are you going to tell me? Yeah, I'll find a place to hole up for a day with my car. But,
The gas company would be an ideal place.
you park on their property, yeah.
Yeah, really. For all of us.
I can't authorize that, but
I know.
anyway, but yeah, that's how we anticipate it.
They're never there. They haven't cut the trees and like they.
But that kind of, Mr. Francis has gone through the legal process. We got to go through a bunch of paperwork yet. And
Yeah. And as for
We're
the
gonna let him do it,
cost-
because I don't know what we're doing. So we let him do it, because I don't know what we're doing. So we let him do that, but.
And as for the cost on your taxes, I don't foresee that happening on this year's taxes because.
A special assessment payment, yeah, that'll at least be a year.
It'll be, yeah, definitely next year. So it won't happen on your winter taxes this year because we have to have things done ahead of time and
I
we're
believe the
looking
project
at
has to be
3
completed
months.
and final build to actually have the final number to even put on the taxes.
You're
We'll have
not
it,
gonna know the amount.
Right.
Until you have the final cost.
Right.
yeah, once it's actually completed. We'll have a good idea once it's bid, but there could be a couple things that cost a little more, cost a little less, whatever. And then that'll,
Yeah.
the final number is what we actually use, so.
So as far as selling your house, how does that affect selling the house during this assessment?
It's considered, you could answer that better than I can.
Depends on who you ask. There's a lot of, and maybe that's something we'll have to discuss, but I know, for instance, drain assessments, generally the drain commissioner wants paid off when you sell the home. But it is a special assessment that binds the land, so if for some reason it's not paid off, it will bind the next owner.
Mm-hmm.
What I can do, if the board wants, is I can prepare a resolution. There may be some blanks in it. I'll call them discussion points, where I think that the board has some leeway, maybe the term of years. But I can fill in like the legal language and all that, and that'll give the board some discussion points. The thing that can't, for the next meeting, the thing that can't be done is property can't be added to the district without another hearing.
Right.
So, you'll have this hearing, and then there'll be another hearing on the assessment roll. But this hearing is the hearing to hear, questions or comments about the petitions, about the project, and about the improvements and the cost. And then after this hearing, as long as we're not adding property to the district, if the board decides to move forward, that's kind of what's gonna happen with respect to this aspect. And then there'll be, you'll get notice of hearings on the special assessment roll too under the statute, and they'll proceed separately, but this is to determine whether we're gonna move forward.
Right.
Alan, when you say add property, are you talking about if we add the gas company? Is that-
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
any property, you have to
Okay.
have, you have to give them, those property owners the same, chance to come and have their speak at public.
Okay.
Yeah, my understanding with the gas company, I was off mic earlier, but that they're fed by the main that runs all along M29, the whole length of past your property. Whether they have a tap or not, my guess is they don't, but maybe they do. But they do not require these improvements in order to tap into the municipal water system. I'm gonna disagree with the supervisor on one thing. I'm gonna tell you, if the gas company's on fire, they're probably gonna use whatever hydrant that they can.
They're gonna grab water
Yeah.
from wherever they, yeah.
As you would expect them to, but this isn't designed for the
Yeah.
hydrants. This is a water quality issue and a system issue, both for the residents on River Road, and you also have the issue with, I'm gonna use the wrong term because I'm having a mental lapse here, but with contaminants flowing back into the system, infecting the rest of the system, like cross connections and things like that. So this is more of a water quality issue. There will be safety improvements with respect to the hydrants, but that's not our primary focus.
And I would probably recommend that if they do have a fire there, don't stick around to see if they're gonna hook up to that hydrant.
No,
Gas company's got a fire there, you want to get going.
run for the hills.
That's not something you want to stick around to look at.
But if they were to, if the gas company reads about this in the paper or talks to the supervisor and he's able to coax some money out of them, we don't have to do this hearing again. That money just gets applied to the overall balance and it comes off everybody. So you may not hear that it happens right away, but I'm confident that, I mean, the township would much rather have somebody else pay for it than you. So those avenues will be exhausted, I'm certain.
Yep. We like free money.
Would
No
you-
such thing as that, but we like it.
Would you like me to prepare sort of that form?
Yeah, we were gonna
resolution
instruct you to
with
do
those
that.
talking points and then-
We were gonna
You'll
instruct you to
have
go
for
ahead with
next
that
meeting.
for the next meeting, but yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions for the attorney or for the board? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Mr. Ridgely, support.
I support.
Gable, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everyone.
I didn't stay, the supervisor told me I could leave, so I'll leave you alone.
Hey,
Thank you.
He's getting billed to this project. Do you want him to leave?
Yes,
You
fine.
can catch me out here. You can catch me out here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. Old business, number 2, ordinance number 326, amendments, second read into record. You want me to do it again? East China Township Public Notice, ordinance number 326, ordinance amending chapter 480 of Township Code, fences, section 480-71 and section 480-53 off-street parking requirements, amended to include section 1, amendment of section 480, subsection B, chapter 480 of Township Code, hereby amends section 480 fences, subsection B, 480, to read as follows. General requirements, residential district, unless otherwise provided in this chapter, fences on all lots of record in all residential districts shall not exceed a height of 6 feet measured from the surface of the ground. Any fence shall be constructed so that the finished side thereof shall face adjoining properties. Section 2, amendment of section 480-53, off-street parking requirements, subsection K of 480 Township Code, hereby amends 480-53, subsection K, adding the off-street parking formulas for uses as follows. The off-street parking requirements, the minimum number of off-street parking spaces by type of use shall be determined in accordance with the following schedule. Residential uses, 1.5 spaces for each efficiency or 1 bedroom, 2 spaces for each unit containing 2 or more bedrooms, plus 1/2 spaces per unit to be provided by visitor parking for multifamily. Institutional uses for library, museum, 1 for each 400 square feet of usable floor space. Veterinary hospitals or clinics is 1 for each 25 square feet of usable floor space, and waiting rooms plus 1 for each exam room or similar use area. Office uses banks, 1 for each 200 square feet. Business or professional is 1 for 250 square feet. Government office is 1 for 250 square feet. Retail and service uses, auto repair, 2 per each service stall, rack, or pit, and 1 per employee. Beauty parlor, barbershop, salon, 1.5 for each chair or station, plus 1 for each employee. Establishments for sale and consumption of on premises of beverages, food, and refreshment, 1 for each 3 persons permitted by maximum occupancy, including the outdoor seating areas. Shopping centers and supermarkets, 1 for each 250 square feet of usable area. And all other formulas, specific uses as currently listed shall remain unchanged.
Okay.
Do we adopt this at the next meeting?
No, today.
Today.
Okay. So after that hearing, we'll need a motion to approve the ordinance as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Blackstock.
Support.
Sart. Any other comments or questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Babel? Yes. Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Okay, thank you. New business 1. NPDES MS4 Advisory Group and Payment of Cost Share. This is a permit process initiated by the Federal Water Pollution Control Act amendments of 1972. The purpose of the program is to control the discharge of pollutants into surface waters by imposing effluent limitations to protect the environment. We're a member of the St. Clair County Permit MS4. This collaborative group allows cost-effective means for communities to comply with this permit requirement. Basically, this is something we do every year, we have to do. So there's a cost share payment of amount of $1,048.70. That is your general ledger number. I make a motion, we approve this.
I'll support.
Any other discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Babel? Yes. Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Thank you. As you know, we received a grant from the Ralph C. Wilson Fund from the Community Foundation for our bike path repair. It was a matching grant, and we put our match against it. They've completed everything except the topsoiling and seeding over there, which we're supposed to be doing this week, if the weather ever cooperates.
Yeah.
So we'd like to set a date and time for ribbon cutting ceremony to honor the completion of the Bridge to Bay Trail and have the people that were responsible for the funding present. And we'd like to do that before our next meeting, August 21st at 6 p.m. at the park, and then come here for a meeting. So if nobody's got an objection, I make a motion we approve that as presented.
Support.
Those questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks. Another one, set date for the township picnic. We'd like to have that Saturday, September 9th. We've had some discussion back and forth. We can have the Township Park Pavilion. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., lunch served at noon. Food and activities provided at no cost to residents and employees of East China Township. Again, it's Saturday, September 9th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
May
So-
I make a comment?
Yes.
There was some back and forth discussion regarding the availability of Pavilion 2, where it's traditionally been held. So in order to have it at that pavilion, we would move it to September 16th. That seems to be a better option than trying to move the venue to a different pavilion away from the playscape. So
And we have had it on the third Saturday of September for several years in a row.
It's been on the second Saturday, it's been on
And
the
then
third
third,
Saturday,
yeah.
so. I think
Okay, yeah, I saw the back and forth. I didn't know if there was, nobody said anything about changing this.
Right.
Well, right, I think the banner says the second Saturday, but this would be the third, so we'll take care of the advertising. I just think it's best to hold it where people are used to having it.
And you want that the 16th then?
I'm suggesting that might be a good solution, rather than moving it to a different
Yeah.
pavilion or having it in
Who's
August.
coordinating all this?
It would be the recreation coordinator.
Which is,
Our new employee starts tomorrow. Actually,
Oh.
Wednesday, yeah.
okay.
So now what park pavilion will it be?
It will be at, nothing, so it would, at Pavilion number 2 on September 16th.
Okay, so Pavilion 2, September 16th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Everything else stays the same?
That's traditionally how it's been held.
And then action number 2, can we do them at the same time?
Whatever.
Yeah, set the date for the second annual trunk or treat event. It was October 21st, with a rain date of October 28th. Was there a time on that or not yet? To be determined on the dime, but basically we're going to set trunk or treat for 21st or the 28th if it rains on the 21st. So I'd entertain motion to approve both of these items as presented, if there's no comments or questions.
Support, or, so moved, sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Ridgely. Mabel, all right. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And to let you know, I'll be sending out an introductory email once I have an email address set up for our new employee. And this board still has yet to appoint members to the recreation committee, which is going to be the group that provides the volunteer backing and support for that position, so.
Okay, thank you.
I do just have one comment.
What?
This seems quick that we're gonna pull this together in a month with, like,
Yeah.
we need,
Well.
definitely need volunteers
Right.
or board members and/or
Or clerks.
to pull this off.
Well,
And
that's what's
supervisors.
going to be, she's going to hit the ground running on Wednesday with
Yeah.
this.
We'll make it through it. All right, any other comments or questions on that? No? New business 4 is a change order, and I distributed that to you this evening here. We had to get some typing redone on it. This is actually considered change order number 3. The first one had to do with the bid, the second one was for prevailing wages. First one was prevailing wages. Second one was a small one for a tree removal, if you remember, and actually a portion of, which you'll see on the second page. They didn't quite pay in full for that sewer lead thing, it was the wrong amount. So there's included in here on the last pages, the items individually. I went over them extensively 4 different times with PCE and the contractor. These are items that come up that we just don't know what's in the ground. When you get there, you run into stuff, and these are ones that we feel are fair. There's no problem with this. There's other ones that we're still talking to them about, but. So in order to be in good faith with the contractor and everybody involved, we definitely would want to get these ones processed that we agree with. So that's what this is for. Therefore, I mean, I've done extensive work with this. We've been meeting with them down there numerous times. So I make a motion to approve change order number 3 for TRP for $40,004.61.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any comments or questions about this, you guys?
What, where are we at, like, when it comes to the, wow, what word, the, like, extra,
Change orders versus contingency?
contingency, that's,
Well, they have some other ones out there they're asking for, and we're
Okay.
negotiating those, but,
Yeah.
So far, for the amount of work we've got done, it's not bad. There's, you know, our supervisor or any of the employees that are here now, nobody knows where anything's at. They didn't mark
Yeah.
anything back in the day.
Yeah.
We think the main's there. That's how we get to this point. So we
Right.
start digging.
Right.
You know, some of the services can't be marked because there's no tracer wire, or they're not copper or steel, you know, they've been replaced by someone we don't even know. So we don't even know where it's at, so some of those are gonna get hit, like the sewer leads are hit because we don't know they're there. There's nothing we can do
Yeah.
about it, you know?
Right.
So, but obviously, we're marking everything and GPSing everything that goes in, and
I was
everything
just
we
saying,
find as
we're
we're
getting
going, you know?
a blueprint of it
So,
afterwards.
yeah, but we'll have a digital blueprint
Yeah.
in the system that we
Yeah.
can just go to as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, these are more than fair. We negotiated them down. I didn't give them their 100% on any of them, just so you know.
Yeah, good.
But just the way
Thank
I
you.
am. But, so therefore, that's what we're at. Any other comments or questions?
How far are we before we're done?
A
Like,
percentage of completion?
Yeah, where are we?
I think about half, but everything's done in Meisner, everything's done in M29. They've replaced all the valves in the south. They have the valves in the north to do yet. And they're on Point Drive down to just past, is it Orchard right there, I think? They're to there so far. So they have to go from Orchard to, back to the River Road,
Okay,
and then they have to bore M29 yet, and they're looking to have the contractor that's actually doing the boring do that for them, because that's what they do. Directional boring, we change it from direction to directional, it's cheaper. They already have a pipe under that canal there on Point, you know, so we don't have to bore under the road, that's already there, just capped, ready to be tapped,
Good.
put in, that's already been put in. I think they did that when they did the bridge.
yep.
So they're moving along, there's a lot of stuff on the way, there's just, it's very tight down through there, so, you know, it's going good, I think, better than I thought.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Now, as far as the roads getting patched over, the crossroads that are still like
Oh,
ripped up
yeah.
to get down the road,
Mm-hmm.
is that like at the very end of the
No,
project?
that's coming, and I
or-
just received an email tonight, actually, from our head inspector that they're gonna start, I think this week or next week. Did you get a copy on that? But, yeah, they just sent me an email late this afternoon. They're gonna start this week on restoration.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay.
I mean, all the rain now has settled everything out, so that's what we were waiting for, so.
Gravel, okay. Just curious. That was
Yeah.
easy.
I mean, I think, I'm just guessing here, but they're probably gonna go back and regrade everything and put the topsoil in. They might not seed everything yet for a week or two, just to make
Right.
sure, because it's still August, it can get hot.
Yeah,
Right.
And then they, once they get towards the end, they go back and seed everything at once, you know, because it's closer to September, and that's
Yeah.
when you want grass to grow.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they gotta maintain it, and they don't wanna do
Yeah.
that in 95-degree heat.
Yeah.
no,
But that'll allow them to start doing driveways and stuff like that too, and paving. So, but they just told me they were gonna start that this week.
okay.
Any other questions about the project?
That was it.
Okay. All right.
Roll call vote?
Made and supported, roll call vote, please, yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes,
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Thank you. Also, some papers I gave you. This is the copy for the contractor in the cemetery. This is where we were final out at, which I think at the last meeting, I said no more than 48,000, but we negotiated that down. We added some restoration too, because they added a lot more paving. So that's just for your information. I executed this change order, so you know. And then I have, and I couldn't find the Bell River Pump Station, but do you see the engineered probable cost for these two projects? These are, and we just learned, we thought that Mr. Peters' office said we weren't in the running anymore for the Bell River Pump Station, when in fact, I still don't know what he had on his list. Maybe it was, but Stabenow's office said we are in the running still for the Bell River Pump Station now. So, from what I can tell, we have the Bryson Sewer project that McLean's office had, and Stabenow's office has the Bell River Pump Station going. So that's still there. And then I have the water main replacement here. This is an estimate too. We kind of know the current situation with our engineer. We had our VP resigned, if you didn't know. So our engineer kind of scrambled right now, but we're getting through it. But if they pull the trigger on this, and if we get the special assessment district going, you know, we're gonna need an engineer to do this work. So at the board's direction, if you want, I can try to solicit some other proposals from people too. Some other engineers that have worked in the area, just for comparison reasons. Strictly up to you guys what you want me to do, or we can try to work through it, but it doesn't cost us anything to get a proposal from somebody else.
No.
So we can do it that way, but there's, at least have it ready to go, because Bell River Pump Station, if they say, yes, we're gonna give you the money, we gotta get someone working on it right away, and that's a lot of
Right.
work. The Bryson's a huge amount of work if we get that going, and that's supposed to happen here in the next 30 days. The Special Assessment District's a smaller project, but, that we gotta get that going. There's a lot of work upcoming that we might need someone to get going on, so it's strictly whatever you guys think. I'm just thinking ahead, because, we have a lot of these other grant applications out there that we're scrambling on the TAP grant and some other ones too, so we're trying to get a handle on everything, answer questions.
So,
The guy that had it all going is not here, and it's I kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I wasn't involved as I should have been on keeping copies of everything to know exactly what was going on. We trusted that they were doing that, but they were, but now no one's there to pick up all that paper and go right away. And
Right.
I feel for them, everybody's short-staffed, so strictly up to you guys what you want to do, but I'm just thinking ahead, if this stuff goes, we got to be able to meet their timelines too, so.
Right.
so this new sanitary sewer line along Bryson to Meisner, Bryson, blah, 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 all back in there, is that gonna loop the system, or do we already have a?
Actually, it's
pipe
gonna
there
go,
we're
it's gonna go,
replacing?
there's a pipe down Bryson a little ways. What we're gonna do is that's gonna stay where it's at. We're gonna take another pipe and go down to the end and put a pump station under the river to Rico Road, to the plant. But it's gonna take all the rest of them in.
Oh, wow.
And the whole thing will be with new roadway access and the whole 9 yards.
I was gonna say,
and
those roads are
county
not
and the
really-
whole thing.
Roads.
So that's a lot of work, but
Is that gonna require paving them down there then?
we don't have to. We can bring it to county spec by gravel.
Because some of them are like, kind of
We've already,
Options,
little
that's also-
lanes.
we've looked at that before.
Yeah.
But this allows us to get the proper right-of-ways and everything to finish it now, through this. But that's all to be determined. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna need someone really working on this. If they say, yes, here's your 750, I think they said that they had on their line, so we'll do some special assessments. We'll have to do some other things, decide how we're gonna pay for it all, but we'll need someone to be able to react quick on that. And then the Bell River Pump Station's not a big deal. I mean, that's something that they probably have already, that shouldn't take a lot of engineering, but
Right.
because they've already done the ones that we're doing now. But if you want to it's strictly up to you as a board. I have no qualm either way. Don't really care.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything. So,
You need a motion, or?
I will, but I wanted to see what you thought first. But yeah, if that, just a motion authorizing me to solicit some proposals from engineering firms for some of the work we got coming up,
So moved.
as an alternative. So, so you gonna move that?
So moved.
So we have some options.
Yeah, anybody want to support that? All right. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed? All right.
Supervisor to solicit
I'll solicit some
for
proposals, or maybe help you help me.
engineering
I don't know.
services?
Yeah, well, just for projects that we have coming in the hopper, we'll just figure it out. On that same note, we have this to review for, I believe, the next meeting, is that right? Do we want to try to solicit offers for this as well?
Yeah.
I would say,
Definitely by the
Was that a motion?
year. Well,
We'll have to advertise it, because they need to be going now on it, if we're gonna have somebody new,
yeah.
so. Yeah,
Maybe someone more local.
well,
I'll make a motion to
advertise for
Well-
advertise
advertising
for bids
services.
for
Yeah.
auditing services.
Okay. Is there support?
sure you don't want to wait for
Support.
them to wrap up this?
This one's wrapped up, we just gotta review it.
Okay, they're just coming in to present at the next meeting,
Yeah, well, they can,
final it up?
They can
that,
put in a
and they
bid.
can apply for it, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's, everybody's got staffing issues, I get it,
I
but if they
hear
think
you.
they can handle it, great, we'll entertain it on the proposal, but. Moved and supported, right?
Yes.
By who?
Moved by Mr. Ridgely, supported by Ms. Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I'm not done. We had an incident over the weekend, and you know about it. One of your critters got in here. But anyway, it was great that we had a camera that had a DVR on it, so we could determine exactly what it was. We have 3 other cameras that came with that system. You guys okay with us installing? DPW could just come down and run 2 more cameras, 1 by each back door. We good with that? Do we need a motion? We can do it, but if not,
I
let's
thought
just.
we already did all that.
No, we have the 1 installed right now. We have 3 sitting there ready to go.
I thought we did, though.
Yeah,
agree to
authorized all that.
We
Didn't we?
We
Did we
did.
purchase equipment?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we had an authorization for that, but we just have to have DPW.
We just need
install.
it installed?
I can do it myself if you guys are okay with that. I don't care. I'll direct them to do it with a work order. I want to step anybody's toe.
I would think you'd just take care of that. That's building maintenance. We've already approved the
All right,
expenditures.
you good with that?
Yeah.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
that. We're gonna
I
put a
assume that
camera
was
by
a
each
done
back
deal.
door.
Yeah.
All right. You guys saw the bottle filler that's in there?
The what?
The bottle filler?
No, I didn't know it was
No,
done
actually,
yet.
Yeah, it's installed.
Is it?
Yep. The painters that did all this work gave me a price for that too, and I want to say it was $1,800 for the bathrooms and that lobby. Do you want to finish that now that that's installed? Because there's a bunch of touch-up to be done in the bathrooms and stuff too. We should remove some of the old towel bars and light fixtures that don't work in the bathroom too. Because they have new lights in there, it's just all old stuff, and then repaint it. We can move forward with that if you want to.
Well, if we've done everything else, I don't know why we would just leave that.
Yeah, there's fixtures that don't even work.
Wasn't the painting already approved at another?
Just for the boardroom it was here. Well, no,
Oh, okay.
I didn't do anything with that yet because I wasn't ready for it
Okay.
yet. But I'll pull that number back together for you for the next meeting, but I'll move forward with that if you guys are okay with it. Just,
That doesn't seem unreasonable.
yeah. And then the other one I think you had brought up is, we do have the cupolas, the dormers, and the shed outside. We'll gather some numbers for that again too then, before the weather turns.
We should.
Because I noticed sitting in the parking lot looking at them, when I pulled in, they're looking rough.
Well, it's been 2-3 years already.
Our DPW wanted to get
Yeah.
up there and take a look
Trying
at
to
some
have
of the
it done.
things for seal, but we
Because
didn't get.
that guy never came back with a,
The guy
I
that
had
painted,
a
somebody-
quote or
we
whatever.
the guy that
approved the
painted
quote.
it did.
okay.
No, this was a different one. I
Right.
already got a quote.
Yeah, before that.
Picked out all the paint,
Oh,
did
okay.
everything, and then the
All
guy
right.
came back and said, well, I didn't figure in a lift. I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to rent a lift for another
Yeah, well,
800.
the guys that
And they
did
dropped the
this
ball.
did give you a price, but anyway, we'll look into both of those then too, so.
Good,
I just want to let you know that's kind of where we're moving.
good.
I think that's all I had. Painting, cameras, engineering, the auditor will deal with that. You have some information from some of our training that our operators went to, what they thought of it. You guys saw that? We're all happy with that? Some other correspondence in here? All right. Anything else? Any comments, anybody? Remember? Yeah.
I have, well,
You got a big list there, you only got 2.
Well, a few other things already were answered, but
Alright.
the cemetery, remember when somebody hit into something or whatever?
Yeah, we turned to the insurance company that's being
That
handled.
got all
Yep.
taken care of?
Being
Okay,
handled.
Garage door, right?
Yep.
okay.
That's all it was.
And then, the park, the joint meeting, would September 18th work? They're talking about putting their meeting before ours, doing their meeting from like 6:30, or, it'd give us like a half hour. I think they're doing 6 to 7, then we come here at 7, meet for a half hour, and then do our meeting at 7:30. So doing the joint meeting at 7 o'clock on September 18th, so that they can move their meeting to our,
So you only think we need a half
I
hour?
was saying, you think a half hour is gonna do it? I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe an hour.
I would think an hour
At
would be
least an
more
hour.
realistic.
Minimum.
Okay, I would have to let them know, and then they'd have to do it a half hour, their meeting a half hour earlier, and then, yeah,
Well, let's do, did you say the 18th?
the 18th, yep, of September.
That's our regular meeting.
Well, we'll try to 6,
Right.
that's our regular meeting night, right?
Yep, yep,
So we'll tentatively say 6:30 here for work session with them before our regular meeting.
okay.
9:18.
And I'll get with them and I'll see if that's okay, and then,
Okay?
I know, already.
All right.
and then,
Hate
That's your
saying-
2, you're done.
I
What
have
else you got?
something.
just to thank Sarah Blackstock for her service on the board, and there's a vacancy, so if
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
for people, all 2 people that watch on Channel 6. we're looking for someone to, to apply,
We're
so.
on the park commission.
Yeah,
Yep.
as a park commissioner, right, because they've already
Correct.
reappointed a chair.
Correct. Yep.
Anyone interested, please apply. Also, same thing for the recreation advisory
Yeah.
committee,
Yep.
they call that now, is that right?
Yep.
5,
Recreation committee.
Yep.
yeah,
Any interested parties, please come to the township hall.
yeah.
Okay?
That's all I got.
I do have one thing. We might want to think about getting a quote from BSNA for their special assessment module, if it tracks the payments and all sorts of things for this new not Bryson Lane, the new water line over there. Otherwise,
We can, yeah.
It would
we'll
have
look
to
into
be
that
done
if you think that's an
manually.
issue. I think that the assessor will set all that up, but maybe not, I don't know.
Well,
Well,
how do
the
we do
assessor-
the one now that we have for the canal cleaning?
I think that's just like a one-time thing every now and then. With this 10-year thing, or possibly 15-year, it tracks it over time. And it allows for early payoffs or not, and then it calculates everything. And then you transfer things to the tax roll every year if they don't pay their payment. So there's options there too. And normally how we have it set up in the past that I've done before, it's assumable by, however they want to get out. If somebody sells their house, it can be assumable, but that's also up to us too, however we want the language to be. And also you need to take into consideration if somebody pays it off early, if we're going to allow them to do that or not, with the interest rates, because if they pay it off early, the township's still on the hook for paying, the regular bond payment.
Well, we're not gonna bond this. We're
Okay.
gonna use capital improvement fund for
Okay.
this. That's why we looked at, probably not
Yeah.
charging them interest. That was suggested, and that can be
Yeah.
brought up at the next meeting, but in order to help them out,
Right. I mean, depending how
we're
much
gonna
the whole
just divide
project
the
is.
project by 6 and then 10 years. That's what was talked about. Mr. Knotts had brought that up too. Because we do have the money in the capital improvement fund, but, legally, if we can do this, that's fine, we will. Our attorney has to let us know all this,
Right.
As residents, we can't do something that's not legal, but if it can be done, possibly we can contribute that way.
Yeah.
And, you take an amortization, let's say it's 8% over 10 years for 25 grand, that can add up to $8,000 a person, so we're gonna save them that much.
Right.
So that was talked about too. So we'll present that all at the next meeting, but that was one of the things that was talked about. So yeah, but as far as paying it off early, I see no problem with that.
Right, right.
Regardless, especially if we're doing it this way.
Yeah,
We're not gonna bond this job.
yeah. Otherwise, you'd be tracking that manually
Right,
somehow.
right.
And that ties into all the other modules, so.
But
Have
look
you
into it,
used
sure.
it?
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
you think, if I
You
got
have
to
used the program?
Mhm.
I see.
look into it and
Right.
get us information, whatever we need to
Yep.
do,
What's the
approve it,
price?
the next one, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Sandy?
No, okay.
Herb? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Ritchley?
Support?
Ms. Hart? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks.